Hello everyone, welcome back to PandoSphere Project TV. We're very excited to have you guys all here with us today and have an amazing guest, Robin O'Bannon, and she is a recent friend of mine. I was able to meet her through what I call the law of attraction. More and more incredible people are just coming about, and it's amazing to connect with Robin and hear her incredible life story. She and I both have shared similar challenges with our health and dealing with the physical while working on ourselves spiritually and mentally. And so it's just such a pleasure to have you with us today, Robin. And Robin, if you want to go ahead and share a little bit about yourself. I know that you are a life coach and a speaker. And if you just want to give us a little intro to who you are, that'd be great.
Well, let's see. I'm a life coach, and but that's more of a recent, more recent occupation, if you will. I'm an 18-year veteran of the United States Air Force and a Gulf War veteran, and a disabled Gulf War veteran at that. And that's where our physical challenges kind of meet up there. But I'm always reinventing myself with the same idea, and I'm just a huge advocate of women's leadership, and women's leadership as it was meant to be, not women's leadership as it has been presented. And usually somebody says, well, what makes you qualified to talk about such a thing? And I say, well, besides what's on my wall, I've been to war, top that. So
there you go.
So there you go. And I've got two amazing boys, 18 and 20. And one is off serving a mission for our church, and our other is a college. What comes after freshmen?
Sophomore, yeah.
That'll work. So, I could probably go on forever and bore people forever, but let's just say that I just love to see people find out who they are and whose they are, and tap into that power. What an amazing world it would be if everyone did.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, we're very honored to have you, so thank you. So I know you'd like to talk a little bit about like attracts like. Just for those who maybe have never heard it put that way, what does that mean to you, that like attracts like?
Well, India Arie has a song, and I think it's called Butterflies. Like, if you want to be a butterfly, if you want a butterfly, you gotta be a butterfly. My grandmother used to say, you're governed by the company that you keep. And I think Jim Rohn said that you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. We begin to take on each other's characteristics, and, positive attracts more positive people. Negative people attract more negative people. We see it every single day. We just haven't really put that label, law of attraction, on it, but it happens all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. So how important is our faith or our belief in relation to the realization of our desires? How important is that role of belief?
Oh, it's without question, it's critical, and I don't think that that it can be done without faith. Not at all. I mean, there has to be an actual belief, an expectation, if you will, that whatever is coming your way is actually coming your way. It's not, well, if you ever get around to it, I'm here. If you want to come and, just bless me, that kind of thing. I see it all the time, and it's kind of a stinking thinking, kind of a poor way of looking at it. And it's not even arrogance where I expect it from you. You better give it to me right now. Endow me. It's not like that either. It's just that true belief and that actual expectation that good things are coming, which really is not a very popular sentiment in the world today.
Yeah, it's really not. I think more and more, there's this emphasis on everything that's going wrong. So how do we look for what is going right, and how does that bring more good into our lives?
Well, I have a couple of suggestions for that. Turn off the radio.
Yeah.
turn off the TV. Pick up a book. Things that actually feed us, that feed our spirits. I believe that we are spirits having a human experience, as opposed to humans that have spiritual experiences. Our spirits are the biggest part of us. And that's where faith again comes in for me. I stay plugged in to the source of all that is good and all that is true. And it's not a preference. It's not a check-in once a week. I have a relationship with my source. Some say the universe, some say that a higher being. I think many of us recognize that there's something bigger than us going on here. And I call him Heavenly Father, and I stay connected to him. And it's really funny because he does a lot better than I do. Up to my own devices, I mess it up every time, right? But he can see around corners, and he always, always, always gets it right. And sometimes, even when things look like they're falling apart, that's when things are actually coming together. He's so cool like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So what's the difference between really believing and then just believing that you're believing? That's something.
You'll give me trouble.
How do you know that you're really in that state of belief? Yeah.
Well, I think that Facebook is a perfect example, and now I'm not knocking, putting up a scriptural verse on Facebook and then everybody's what is it? And if you believe this, say amen, type amen.
Yeah.
It's not really an act of faith, I think that people who believe that they believe kind of go through the motions with that hoping that it'll work. But people who truly believe act on it. That little quote on Facebook don't do nothing for you,
Right.
But to actually step out on that faith and to do that thing that no one else will do, and to act on promptings and to think about, oh boy, I just had a brain cramp. I hate when that happens. but to actually step out and take action on those things that are presented to you as the next step, instead of doing what you feel like doing all the time, which is, how's Dr. Phil say, how's that working for you? So.
Yeah. All right, cool. Maybe we can work through a little bit of a practical example if you're willing to do this with me. So let's say that I come to you and I'm a person that I keep attracting car accidents into my life. Every couple weeks or months, I just keep getting into car accidents. What would you say to me, to that person that keeps attracting what they don't want? What kind of advice would you give them?
It's really funny. I don't often give advice because often when you give advice, people don't take it.
That's true.
I would probably say something to you like, why do you think you're attracting these things? And it often sounds like a cop-out, but you know what? So many people have an idea. It's so, but they won't vocalize it. So I give them that safe area and that permission to vocalize what they think. Why are you a car accident magnet, a tornado magnet? Why is it? You're probably too young for this, but the Flintstones. It was
no, I know Flintstones.
Do you remember Shop? And he always had a cloud over his head.
Right.
And when it rained, it just rained on him. I'm sure Slip Rock probably had an idea because he accepted it. He embraced it about himself. But I always ask, why do you think this is? Most people, believe it or not, they have a clue about why these things are. They talk about being terrified all the time, or you know what I mean? And so these things manifest themselves. And I never ever want a person to feel as if, well, see, it's because of who you are that cars like your face. That's not that's not where I go with that. But most people know. Yeah. So I will explore it.
I think you're absolutely right with that. Awesome. And then you talk about surrounding ourselves with those that believe in us. You talked about like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Elaborate a little bit on that. Share with us why that's so important to have people that believe in you.
As time progresses and as I get older, don't ask how old because it's not polite to ask a lady. 47. So as I progress through life, I pull back and I look at the world, and there's something that I noticed that has been happening, and I see how divisive or how divided we are as a world, as a nation, as a people. And I look at the things that device. And they are things that I often say they have no eternal significance whatsoever. And then I look at the characteristics. I fit into so many of those categories. I could be offended all the time, whether it's, Black woman, disabled veteran, single mom, all of these things. Yeah. I should be forever offended, just perpetually offended, just, stink face all the time. So I notice that there is, I don't know how to put, my grandma used to say the devil is busy. And driving wedges between people who need each other the most. Mm-hmm. So if I were to actually listen to some of the people in my past, you and I should not be having a conversation right now, right? Wow. Or my children might never have been born. I might not have been able to serve in the United States Air Force. Mm. There's so many things that I might not have been able to I might not have been able to do had I listened to those who were afraid and they were manifesting their fear through me. Mm-hmm. And so when I remove the labels, when I remove all of these identifiers, right, or these created identifiers, I find that is when I begin to come together with the people who are most like me. And they don't look like me, right? They don't have the same hair as I do. They don't have the same external characteristics that I do or share the same experiences. Yet when we talk, we can almost finish each other's sentences. What's up with that? Mm-hmm. So one of the first things that as far as like attracts like, is it's not what's on the outside that matters. It's what's going on in here, right. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, definitely. I have been thrilled as I've been on this journey. About a year ago, I felt a little bit alone because I was just launching into, the law of attraction and personal development. And I didn't have people in my life that really understood those things. But within just a few short months, I kept attracting more and more people. And now my closest friends that I talk with the most are totally in alignment with these things. And it's so exciting. So absolutely. For anyone just starting out, if you feel like, you might be the only one that really feels this way, just reach out. There's a huge community of us out there. And we're awesome at supporting each other and pushing each other too. I think that's important too.
Don't believe the hype, right? Don't believe the hype. Those dividing factors that are out there, they don't mean jack. They mean less than jack. They mean right? Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. So when we have this belief that we can live a life by design, or we can create a reality that we want, how can we share that with others? How can we teach that to our children?
Man, first of all, that has probably been one of the greatest challenges for me, is sharing it with other people. It's like they get it theoretically, but for some strange reason, it just doesn't apply to them. Everybody else, just not them. So that has been a challenge, and boy, that's something I sure would love to pick your brain about. But when it comes to sharing it with my kids are all about the secret, all about the law of attraction. And it's great when you teach them when they're young, because that's when they believe they can do anything. Right. And so they'll carry that knowledge with them into the eternities, right? But one of the very best ways that we can do it, it's the best way that we can do anything else. You work on this. You handle this. Your beliefs will be demonstrated to your children. For some reason, we're under this wrong impression that if we do this more, then the kids will listen to what we say and not watch what we do. And it's all this, and it's just, don't nobody want to hear all that.
Right.
But when they see how you walk through your daily life, how you walk through your situations, how you treat other people, how you manifest good in your life, and how you tell them to dream big, if they see you dreaming big, that's how you do it. You walk the talk. And is that not the oldest way to demonstrate? Just to demonstrate.
Right.
Do that thing.
Yeah, it comes perfectly back to what you're talking about earlier with acting. You act on your faith. And that's really what
Absolutely.
it comes down to. I mean, we can visualize, we can meditate, we can read all this stuff, but if we
Right.
don't take those action steps, it's not going to make the change that we need it to. And your
Amen.
children, those people around you, will see those actions more than your words, obviously. So, yeah,
Well, but
that's great.
that's how you change the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a, that person really ought to do something different from now. She ought to change her hair, or she ought to, walk through that chronic illness in a better way. Or it's, you're doing this. You got all of these pointing back at you. The way you change the world is change yourself. And I'm not talking about posing and pretending.
Yeah.
I'm talking about acting. And it all comes together in this beautiful whole. And one of the reasons I was talking about advocating leadership for women is because women are especially good at that. When we are healthy, oh man, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is. It lifts everybody around us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts within you and then it goes out to your family, to your children, and so on throughout the world, I
Absolutely.
believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to someone just kind of getting started with this on how they can like really apply that belief into their life and really let it settle into their very being?
One thing that I would say is to be very uh, um, be kind to yourself. Um, Respect and honor yourself and the time that it takes for you to learn new things. Don't do these things, in front of everyone else and for the world to see. I mean, transformation, even the transformation of a butterfly occurs inside the cocoon.
Mm.
Everybody else is
Mhm.
standing outside wondering what's going on and should I smash that with a shoe? But but it happens all on the inside. And I I want to say what I did was a friend of mine handed me this DVD, The Secret,
Mhm.
Rhonda Byrne,
Yeah.
and just sit and watch it. And then watch it again, because I don't think that there's anyone that's ever seen that has not had to watch it again and again and again, because he couldn't explain, why do I feel so hopeful when it's over?
Yeah.
But at least dip your toe in the water. Don't just talk about it. Dip your toe. Watch it, read it, and allow change to take place, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's simple, but some people won't take that first step.
Yeah, that's great. I think that would be a great challenge that we could give our viewers would be to try an experiment on it, right? An experiment upon the word. Don't just listen to it, but whatever is in that inspiring, whatever is inspiring you right now, that little prompting that you have, go ahead and
Yes.
act on it and take the action with the faith and the belief that it can be yours. You can have that change. You can become that person. Whatever those ideas are, they're given to you for a reason because they're meant to be yours. So I think that would be a beautiful thing that we could challenge everyone, including ourselves, to do this week. And if you want to go ahead and take that challenge, go ahead and leave a comment below and we'll follow up with that. And that'd be really fun. So Robin, any other things that you'd like to share with us just as we kind of wrap this up here for a moment?
Sure. One other suggestion that I would have is a gratitude list.
Mm.
Just start writing down those things that you're grateful for. And what is beautifully surprising about that is you always think you're going to run out of stuff to be grateful for. Like those little plastic things on the ends of shoelaces, agulets, I think is what they call aglets. Yeah, aglets. Yeah, I'm thankful for those. Write it down. I'm thankful for the coaster on my desk because I'm type A, and I don't like rings on my glass desk, stuff like that. You know, seek out inspiration, hang out with us here on the YouTube channel, and just be inspired by everyday people that are just like you. I have a Facebook page if anybody wants to just check in with me, and it's called Fueled by Life First Things Coaching Services. Thinking about changing that for but I'm no marketing guru. So from in the meantime, just Fueled by Life, and you should be able to find me anywhere, and just reach out, find a friend, and just, here's one more thing. In every person, every face that you look into, find a little bit of yourself. Look for that in them, and you will see a family resemblance, and you'll realize that you have never been as alone as you thought you were.
That is excellent advice. I've actually never heard that. So that's a great takeaway for me too.
I
So thank
just
you.
might not like it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Robin. I really appreciate it. And I know that this has been a great learning time for me and hopefully for our viewers as well. So appreciate your time. And yeah, go ahead and find her Facebook page. If you liked this interview that we did, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Robin.
My pleasure.
All right. You have a great day. Thanks.
Bye.